Why is Zooble always so reluctant to join the adventures? What if she has been on a secret and hidden mission for the past 2 episodes? Well, in today's video, I'll be going through Zooble's character, going over some potential evidence and the implications that this theory has. But before I do, comment your own theory down below and I'll maybe make it into a video. But let's get into it. Who is Zooble? Zooble is one of the main circus members in TADC. She's pretty much known as the I don't care type of person, and she doesn't ever seem to be bothered to join the circus members in adventures as we saw in both episode 1 and 2.
No.
Zooble, wait! I'm testing out a new AI in this one! It should be 57 times more immersive!
Ooh, a new AI. You don't want to mess with the new AI, Zooby?
Yeah, no.
I made a video before about Zooble's reluctance to join the adventures because of Kaufmo's abstraction and funeral, but I actually theorized something else in this video because her hesitance to join the adventures could actually mean something else, something that she has hidden, which I will get into later in this video. But as we saw from the clip, she never really bothers to join the adventures with everyone else, and she's always having that attitude. But I actually believe that her attitude is just a facade so that she can hide her true self. But to be honest, her having that attitude suits her so well, and the reason I say this is simply because our first impression of her was literally that. So Zooble being somewhat of an optimistic person wouldn't really suit her at all. But there's one scene that I think is actually genuine, and that is Kaufmo's funeral. When she says everything is ready, we see a slight hint of sadness on her facial expression, and I actually think that to be very genuine.
Got everything ready. Hey, you at least want to join us for Kaufmo's funeral? We like to have a little funeral service to remember the people who abstract.
So, even though that she might be faking it all to fulfill that secret mission, I also believe that she has a real bond with the circus members. The reason I say that is simply because of how long they've been in the circus together. As I theorized before in my past videos, I said that Zooble and Jax might have been teleported into TADC due to them being the same age and also them being the youngest out of all the circus members. So, Zooble must have been in the circus for quite some years now. So even though that she might have been focusing on completing her secret mission, she must have been enjoying the time with the circus members as well. But what could that secret mission be? Well, let's take a look at some potential evidence that could support my theory first. Zooble's suspicious behavior is one of them. Throughout both episodes, we haven't had that much dialogue from Zooble. In episode 1, she had 11 lines. She literally only spoke 11 times, and that is nothing compared to the others. In episode 2, she legit only spoke 3 times. So what could that indicate? Well, in both episodes, the other circus members have had the spotlight.
Pomni, take this!
Which means that all the focus was on them and not Zooble. And with that, it means that she could have been doing whatever in the circus, since no one is really watching her. And I mean no one. Not even Kane. Even though Kane said that he has his all-seeing eyes on them, he doesn't really have that.
Where I can keep my hundreds of all-seeing eyes on you!
Because if he did, he would then know when Kaufmo wrecked chaos in the circus. The only form of indication that he has on the circus members is the wacky watch that he has on. But that only works if one of the circus members are in the void, as we saw with Pomni.
Oh, Bubble, you always know how to make me say this exact sentence. Yes! An alert on my wacky watch at this hour? Oh no! Someone's venturing out into the void! They'll get totally spoiled! There you go!
So, with Zooble being able to do whatever, I theorized that she could be gathering more data to complete her secret mission. And that could be exploring or experimenting with the digital circus. So, the code, the toys, walls, rooms, and just every single thing. Gathering as much data as she possibly can. Another potential evidence is also when Kane leaves after saying that he needed to drink some water.
I know you guys love your NPCs, but if I start losing track of who's a human and who's an NPC, who knows what could happen? gonna go drink water. It's been a while since I've done that.
Sheesh, I thought he'd never leave.
So, after explaining to Pomni that the NPCs and humans can't both be in the digital circus, he pretty much leaves to quote-unquote drink some water, and that is where Zooble comes in and says, "Jeez, I thought he'd never leave." And we all probably interpreted that in a way that Zooble doesn't like Kane, or she just wants Kane to get out of the way because of Kaufmo's funeral. But I think something else. I believe that she said that because if Kane's presence was in the circus, she couldn't have continued her mission, because he would probably check on all the circus members, because that is just a Kane thing. But I could definitely be overanalyzing this, but I still somehow think that Zooble could still be hiding something from the circus members because of her attitude and the way she's hinting towards things in her few dialogues that she has had. So let's get into the more spicy stuff. What could Zooble's hidden mission be? Let me know down in the comments before I get into the potential hidden mission. Alright, so I believe that Zooble has actually been sent into the circus for the sole reason of exploring and gathering as much data as she possibly can. We presumably know that all the circus members has been teleported into the circus due to them taking on a headset and afterwards being teleported into TADC. A potential theory is that some organization has found out about that and they took action on it. So they trained Zooble and she got sent into the digital circus with the organization looking over her. And her mission was to explore and gather. So in other words, she's actually a scout/spy. But this mission has been going on for years, but the time in the digital circus doesn't necessarily need to correlate with the real world. It could be that 1 year in the circus is a few minutes in the real world, or it could be the opposite. So with the organization looking after her, we could potentially get an episode where the circus members find a way out due to Zooble explaining everything to them. And this theory could actually be so interesting if it was true, but that is something we would have to wait and see. But I have one more theory about Zooble. The second possibility is that Zooble is fulfilling a promise or duty given to her by someone important, and that important person could be her family member, best friend, or just someone who meant dearly to her. Now, this could actually backfire on me. For now, we don't know if anyone has ever escaped TADC, but we could theorize that someone has, and that person is someone who was dear to Zooble, and they wanted her to finish whatever they started in TADC. And that goal could honestly be anything, but the main 3 pointers could be finishing TADC, find a missing person, or defeat Kane. It is very abstract, I know, but imagine if this theory was to become true. That would actually make TADC way more interesting. But I'm not saying that TADC isn't interesting now, I'm just saying that this theory could add even more layers to the Amazing Digital Circus. Now let's talk a bit about why Zooble would go into the circus based on those 2 theories. The first reason is that she's just someone who worked for a special organization, and from what I have seen throughout movies, agents are pretty much straight without them bulging an eye to anything, so she was probably the best and finest agent that they have had, and that is why she was the one who got appointed to the mission. So there's not any other reason than simply it being her duty. And now onto the reason for theory 2. As I said before, she might have promised or wanted to fulfill something from someone who was dear to her. This could actually be more than just a promise that she has had made to that person. Because what if she has heard stories about TADC from that person? She could have heard it all her life, in which the person has prepared a lot for Zooble to be able to be transported into the circus. We know that the circus members can remember their past, as it was confirmed by Gooseworks on Twitter. So this could potentially strengthen my theory, because if she remembers it, she definitely wants to achieve it. Now, what are the implications of this theory? Well, first off, it would actually change the whole storyline as we had thought, because we haven't really seen anything too specific in the circus, rather than the circus members completing adventures not to go crazy, and if they go crazy, they will abstract. That is nearly explaining the whole plot. But with this theory being correct, it could lead to Zooble telling the other circus members about her mission, and that would actually change the whole plot, because now the circus members don't do pointless stuff to keep them sane, but they now do stuff that could help Zooble finishing her mission. And if she finishes her mission, they could potentially all escape. We know that the next episode 3, will be focused on Zooble and Kinger, so all we gotta do is wait and see if this theory is true. But everything can be possible in TADC. After all, those were just my theories. Let me know what you think about them down below. Comment your own theory, or if you want me to cover something in TADC. Thanks for watching, subscribe and click on this video here.